dooby 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 dooba. Doesn't matter how much prep time, I'm never prepared. That was offbeat. Completely offbeat. Do I have everything? Okay, I got coffee. I got drink. I need water. Hang on, I'm gonna go get that. The bitch needs to hydrate. Where's my water bottle? Hang on, I can't find my water bottle. I'll be right back. Got the water. I am never prepared for my own live streams because I am not a professional. Hey. Okay, apparently my widgets might not be working. Chat. Say something real quick, chat. And also, yes, hello there, Phoenix. I am all out of sorts today. Howdy. Alright, there you are, okay. Alright, before we get started, just want to preface that I am tired. But not tired in the sense where I need to go lay down. It's just that it must be the spring air that is just making me feel like shit. But it's like, I don't feel sick either. I'm just incredibly stuffy. And I can still breathe, but I can't smell a damn thing. So that's awesome. Anyway, did y'all survive the eclipse? I was watching it live streamed yesterday on YouTube. Just NASA was streaming it. It was pretty cool. Once again, the apocalypse didn't happen. Big shock there. Alright, that was the thing. Yeah, in my area, we were nowhere near the moon's shadow. We probably didn't even see a partial eclipse. Like, it didn't get dark at all. And even if it did, we were so overcast and cloudy, so we didn't see a damn thing. But I watched the live stream, which is very interesting that NASA put that all together for free to watch on YouTube. I think it's still up there on their channel, which was pretty cool. It's so funny. During the live stream, I was like, they were like, every 5 minutes, I kid you not, every 5 minutes, they were like, remember everybody to wear proper eye protection and don't look directly at the sun. And I'm sitting here like, who the fuck needs to hear that? Why are they constantly telling grown-ass adults, because this wasn't like a children's program, this was fucking NASA. You know, mission control. Every 5 minutes, every time they had a guest on, they were like, yep, wear your proper eclipse glasses and don't look directly at the sun. And I was like, who needs to hear that? And then this morning, I see an article where they were like, a rise in Google searches for eye pain after the eclipse. So it was like, eyes hurt. #1 Google search after the eclipse. So I'm like, oh. That's who needed to hear it. A bunch of fucking dumbasses. What the hell? It was just too funny. I'll give it a watch later. I don't think I've ever seen it from where I am. So many people went temporarily blind because of it. It's the fucking sun! What do you mean? I mean, I know, yes, staring at the sun is gonna make you temporarily go blind and whatnot. But I'm sitting there like, what? I'm just baffled that they needed to constantly tell people to not stare at a burning ball of hydrogen and helium. Now, during the eclipse in totality, that's when you could take your glasses off and look at, the ring and whatnot. But I've seen the live stream. When people were at the stadiums, they had people over the speakers like, all right, people, you can take your glasses off now. And then they're like, all right, people, put your glasses back on. Because the eclipse was breaking. So it was like, unless you're like in your own backyard and didn't have like the news on and wasn't paying attention, I can see why. But I've looked at the sun occasionally. Even with sunglasses on. Now, for the eclipse, you do need the special glasses because it's so freaking powerful. And yeah, those glasses are like super sunglasses because when you put it on and you're looking around, you can't see anything. They're exclusively to look up at the sun. But for the live stream, we were looking at it via the International Space Station and the telescopes that all had special filters on it, which was really cool that we got to see all the different coronal excursions and the diamond ring. That was in high resolution. That was very cool. But it was also really cool for the NASA live stream. They also had footage from the International Space Station of just like the shadow of the moon going over the earth. That was really cool. Yeah, though why the hell did people want to stare at the sun when it's that powerful? Yeah. So that's what I did yesterday, along with working on the comic, because I'm gonna be honest, guys, I have no frickin' idea what I'm going to do for this week's video. Hello, CO. So I have an idea, sort of, where I just talked about my comic process step by step, because I don't think I've actually talked about it on the channel. I mean, I've shown it, but I haven't talked about it, and more people watch videos than live streams. Sad fact of life. So I think that's gonna be this week's. Anyway. Also, my eyes don't hurt, so it's not that kind of allergy attack, but I'm just stuffy enough to where I feel gross, but not, like, in pain. So that's why I'm still working today, because I'm not in pain, I'm just, congested. Anyway. This whole eclipse talks made me think of how Oh, we worked on a fictional planet like Tatooine where that has 2 suns. Nope, nope, nope. Not going down that rabbit hole. Yeah, I was thinking about that while watching it. Like, how would... Because, like, Mars has 2 moons, and they have lunar and solar eclipses as well. Just one... Because I have a story where it takes place in the future, and we have colonies on Mars and Venus, and Earth has been abandoned. So I'm wondering, like, what a terraformed Mars or a semi-terraformed Venus would look like, so... I've been looking into that. Didn't happen and stuff. Yeah, it's not gonna... Like, since... solar eclipses happen at least once a year, but what made this one so special is that it was a total solar eclipse that was going over America, so... The, NASA was covering it, so that was pretty cool. Also, I'll need to look into it. But it turns out that NASA, for the Artemis 2 mission, is sending people back to the moon to live there. But I haven't looked into it, but that's just what it sounds like. So that would be really cool to follow. Eclipse Favors America. Yeah, this time America was the main character. But my sister and I'm gonna talk about this and then we'll get started with the stream. My sister and I were making so many jokes because, like, all these news articles were coming out saying that, oh, Niagara Falls has declared a state of national emergency, and the Coast Guard and not the Coast Guard, what is it? The National Guard's is being called to all these areas because of the eclipse. And I'm like, who the hell is worried about the eclipse? Wait, y'all, calm down. But it was all about just the mass influx of people and the tourism. That was the concern. So it's like, okay, yeah, I get that. But it's just the way everyone seemed to be freaking out about it. My sister and I were making jokes that they think, it's like, what is this? They think the Aztec gods are dying because we haven't done any blood sacrifices, so the world's gonna end during this solar eclipse. What the hell, guys? So my sister started working on a drawing of the Aztec sun and moon gods fighting, which was pretty cool. She hasn't finished it yet, and she should anyway. This is clearly an apocalypse, but hey, next day we're still here. Anyway. So I've been laughing at all the doomsday preppers all weekend. Weekend, it was literally just a day. Anyway, so that was fun. There we go, there we go. Here we go. Here we go. Alright, here's that, here's this, here's that. Alright. Back to the game. Okay, I don't need the colors yet. Slight spoilers for the comic, if you care about that sort of thing. But I'm trying to get ahead of the game. Where's the... Oh, I moved it. Okay, so I need to actually draw her nose here. And I'm also, okay, I'm pissed at all the news coverages and all the memes and whatnot. Now, one person made the joke. Since it was a total eclipse. Now, one person made the joke. And if you don't know what joke I'm talking about, you might be too young to be my friend. But there's a song by Bonnie Tyler, that's really bad, called Total Eclipse of the Heart. If you don't know what it is, what that song is, you're lying. You've heard the song before. And I can't sing along with Bonnie Tyler, so you'll just have to listen to it on your own time, but... It's like, nothing I can do, a total eclipse of the heart. Once upon a time we were falling in love, now I'm only falling apart. Nothing I can say, a total eclipse of the heart. Now, one person made that joke throughout the entire news coverage of this whole debacle. No one made that joke. Come on, guys. It's gonna be the only total eclipse in America for the next 20 years. Come on, guys. Let's make the joke. Yep, there was light in my life. Now there's only love in the dark. Thanks, Blade. I used to think I was terrible at singing when I was a kid, and I honestly, when I was younger, I was kind of bad at singing, but that was because I was trying to sing along with people that were completely out of my range, which is probably why when I was younger, I preferred listening to male artists more so than female artists, because most female artists in, like, the music industry are sopranos. Or at the very least, they must sing the soprano range. And I am not a soprano. I am a tenor, maybe high alto, mid alto at most. So when I was a kid, I thought, oh, I'm so bad at singing. It was like, no, I'm just trying to sing out of my range. And then when I took choir and actually started trying to sing with other songs that were slightly out of my range, well, then I learned what my range actually was. It just kind of clicked for me, like, oh, I'm not terrible. I'm just singing slightly off key because that's not my range. I can't hit the high notes. Which is probably why I like bands like Metallica and Joan Jett so much, because I can sing within that range. But yeah, I grew up on bands like Thousand Foot Crutch, Skillet, Barlow Girls, Super Chick, a lot of Christian bands, just raised Christian. And as much as I love Super Chick and Barlow Girl, they're kind of out of my range. So that was my experience with female artists for most of my life. And Heart and Pat Benatar. Which I could probably sing along with some Heart and Pat Benatar. I'm just not that big of a fan of Heart and Pat Benatar. I know as treacherous and treasonous as it is to say, not that big of a fan of Heart. I'm just not. Now, it's like, I love Bonnie Tyler. But again, she's slightly out of my range. But then I learned when I learned what my range was, then I could just sing songs, even if they were out of my range, sing it in my range, and then make it work for me. But of course in choir, you gotta match the range of all the people around you. So it's really hard to just learn how to... I don't know. Choir did teach me how to sing, sort of. It taught me how to harmonize. But it didn't actually teach me how to sing, if that makes sense. I learned how to... Yeah, like I said, I learned how to harmonize. Sort of. But learning how to sing took years of just being in the car and listening to the radio, and literally my family telling me to shut the fuck up for years. Until I learned how to sing, because I was tired of people being annoyed at me. Because I hate it when people are annoyed at me. I can't figure out this part of her face, so I think I'll just shadow it. Even though the dialogue's up there, I'll just put it under shade. Where did the combo? I was talking about how I learned how to sing. I always sing along the swing. Yeah. Voice is lovely to listen to. You're actually one of the first people to say that to me. 'Cause I think my voice is kind of annoying and nasally, but I have to edit all my damn videos, so I'm just, oh. But like last stream I said we're not as creatures not really supposed to hear our own voices, so when we do hear it, it makes us cringe. And it's a self-conscious thing too. I mean, is it even a rune stream if the conversation doesn't derail? That's assuming we're even on a rail. I've heard annoying before, very pleasant to listen to. Compared to most streamers, maybe. Yeah, the streamer... Here's the thing. Comparing my voice to other people, like, comparing my voice to actors makes me very self-conscious because I'm still trying to get over the fact that I do not and will not ever sound like Rebecca Soychet. And she's an amazing voice actress. She did the singing voice for Twilight Sparkle. She voiced Sunset Shimmer in My Little Pony. She did so many others, but like those are the ones I know. So like when I compare myself to voice actors, I'm so like self-conscious and whatnot. But like some streamers and YouTubers have that certain voice, you know, the streamer voice, especially if you're a girl on Twitch or a PNG tuber. They all have that type of voice, and you know the exact one I'm talking about. I don't even have to say it. That is so freaking annoying because I know exactly what they're trying to do, and it just irks me. They derailed the Star Wars because of the eclipse. Well, we briefly mentioned Star Wars earlier, but... Oh, fuck me, that's tomorrow. Last week's Bad Batch episode, which is Star Wars related, we had 2 episodes last week. They both absolutely killed me. But I lived. So I'm not sure what this week's episode is gonna do to me. But I'm so glad I stream before Bad Batch airs, because if I streamed after, I would just be a sobbing mess, not being able to work. Especially since this is the series' last season. And I'm gonna fucking die. Plenty of criteria to keep in mind. Find voice actors for your comics since you have voices for the characters in your head. Yeah. Or it's like, I know exactly what voice I want the characters to have, but I don't have enough money to hire that specific voice actor. That's also an issue. Or it's like, for some characters in my comic, I'm gonna work on this one first. For some characters in my other comics, I don't actually know what their voice sounds like, but I know they have a certain vibe to their voice. So if you don't match that vibe when you're talking, I'm not sure, like, how it's gonna work. Like, I have a character for my series Gatesville, which is going to be animated, hopefully, in the future. And there's this one character, her name is Gladys. And in her teen years, she sounds like Mandy Moore, who was the voice of Rapunzel in Tangled. And she's got a very cute voice, very sweet. She's got a good singing voice, too. And that's what I want Gladys to sound like exactly when she's a teenager. However, most of the time she's on screen for, like, the miniseries, she's, like, 4 years old. So how do you, it was like, this is how she sounds like as an adult. Now, how do you reverse engineer that voice to a child without just sounding like this all the time? Because this is not a real child voice. I'm sorry, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I understand it, but I absolutely hate it that when adults voice children. I understand why adults voice children in animation, because you don't want to, because you can't just hire all the children to voice kids, but when adults try to do child voices, even if you're a professional, they either sound really stuffy or really, really fucking annoying. Or they just hire a girl to voice a young boy because they're prepubescent, but then it's like, now, I'm sorry. As much as I love Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and as much as Alphonse is my favorite character, in Brotherhood, he was voiced by a woman. I think it was, oh, fuck, what was her name? Anyway, he was voiced by a woman, a grown woman, and, like, in the first few episodes, he sounded like a young girl. And then for the rest of the series, I mean, as much as I love the sound of her voice saying, "I'm trying to save you, asshole!" That is just, it annoys me to no end. I understand it, but it's annoying. You don't want to expose children to Hollywood, the horrors of Hollywood, I get it, but it's voice acting, they can do that from home. Now, if you're like Tara Strong or it's not Keira Knightley. It's not Mae Whitman. Maybe Mae Whitman. She did Tinkerbell and April O'Neil. Like, hiring adults to voice teenagers, fine, whatever. Because teenagers, you know, they're pubescent and whatnot. Their voices coming in. But when you hire like a 40-year-old woman to voice a 10-year-old boy, as much as it's common practice, I'm sorry, it annoys the hell out of me. I love Tara Strong, but her voice, her natural voice, is too goddamn gorgeous to be wasted on children. On children characters. I'm sorry. That's not what I meant. South Park, they used actual children. Yeah. Or like in, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Those were actual kids voicing the children characters. Which I greatly appreciate. Now, if it's like for like a comedy thing, like Animaniacs, we can have adults for that. Because the Warners, yes, they are children, but they're not human children, and it's a comedy show, so it's fine. It's the same when it bothers me when people hire non-black voice actors to voice a black character. But they sound, in the non-racist way possible, they still somehow sound black. If you know what I mean? It's just, okay. A choice was made. But, on the other hand, I'm completely fine with the exact opposite. Like, a very specific example. Christopher Judge is an amazing voice actor. He is absolutely god tier when it comes to voice acting any character. And in X-Men Evolution, he voiced Magneto, a Jewish character. A Polish Jewish character. Hang on, I'm looking at my phone real quick. Let's turn the volume down so I can look at chat in different capacity. Anyway. I was fine with Christopher Judge voicing Magneto, you know, a non-Jewish voice actor. I don't know, am I making sense? It bothers me to some capacity, but most of the time, it's whatever. Unless it's children. Children just... hire kids. How hard is it? But on the same vein, I understand why. Anyway, I'm just gonna stop talking about this, because I feel like I've just put my foot in my mouth. How was that Donald Duck sign? We're just asking. I've avoided it, actually. Because I like the song, I just don't want it to be ruined. Alright, I've avoided it enough. For once, we're actually going to talk about the comic page for just a little bit. I know, don't panic. It's only for a little bit. This page is a flashback, part of a flashback, and going to be drawing some canon characters. This is the, what was it called? New Prophecy? Yeah, this is part of the series from New Prophecy. So I'm having to, like, impromptu design the Journey crew. Is that what they were called? No, the cats that took the journey, the saltwater journey through the mountains. Anyway. And I'm sitting there like, oh my god, what? I actually have to design these characters. And then I completely forgot I already designed Feathertail in a previous page, because she was at Heartstar's 9 Lives ceremony. So, oh, fuck! I forgot about that, so I was scrambling, trying to get everyone's color palette. But also, okay, random side tangent. Am I the only one who didn't visualize Tawny Pelt as a tortoiseshell? Because apparently, canonically, Tawny Pelt, Brambleclaw's sister, is a tortoiseshell and white cat. When was that decided? When was... I'm sorry, I thought Tawny Pelt was a, you know, tawny-colored tabby with green eyes. That looked more like her mother than her father. But I guess she was a tortoiseshell the whole time? Same with Leafpool. I keep forgetting she's actually a brown tabby. With a bit of, with white paws. Had no idea. Also, Squirrelflight having the white paw, the white front paw, I thought that was just fandom thing. But no, that's actually canon. Huh? When was that canonized? Yeah, just like last stream, this is the same flashback, it's just being continued. So that was interesting to, read up on. Like, I didn't realize this whole time Firestar is apparently an orange tabby, not a solid ginger cat. Because in all of the allegiances, they called him a handsome ginger Tom with a flame-colored pelt. So it's like, well, you just called him red like 3 times. What is this? Also, in cat language, orange is not the same as ginger. And orange is also not the same as amber. Same with, russet colored pelts. Not the same as ginger and not orange. So it's just really, mind-blowing. This whole time I thought he was just a plain orange cat, but no, turns out he was a tabby the whole time. Also, I don't know about you guys, but am I the only one who imagined Squirrel Flight or Squirrel Paw being incredibly tiny this whole time? Is that a me thing, just interpreting like her personality as small personality, or is it actually canon that she's tiny and small? And also, apparently she has a squirrel-like tail. So I'm gonna have to draw that. Yeah, same here. I heard squirrel and think tiny. But that's also a misconception with the Warriors fandom. Apprentices, that you become an apprentice to train to become a warrior when you are 6 moons old. That's 6 months old. At 6 months old, a cat is nearly full grown. Like, the size of them, anyway. So all these drawings and artist depictions of taking the apprentice out on their first walk, and it shows, like, this full-grown-ass warrior walking next to this tiny little kitten. It's like, no, they're almost full-grown at that point. What got you into this in the Warriors fandom? It was a mix of two things. A family friend of mine was moving away, and they were going through their stuff, and the mom said, "Hey, they don't read these books anymore. Do you want them?" And I saw a cat on the cover, and I went, "Yeah, sure, I like cats." And I started reading, in the first series, I started reading A Dangerous Path. Had no idea what was going on. Decided to look up the series because what the hell is this? And found the infamous animated short SS Warrior Cats for the first book. And was just captivated by that series. Like, the animated series. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll read the first few books. And that's all she wrote. The rest is history. Then it kind of disappointed me that SS Warrior Cats was canon compliant until they got to, like, episode 3, and then they just went full Dragon Ball Z anime. So, what is this? I was... how old was I? 10 at the time? No, I couldn't have been 10. I was still reading Redwall. I was at least 12 when I started reading Warriors. I didn't do the background. Alright. So that's what got me into the fandom. Right, into the series. The fandom, SS Warrior Cats and the fan art really got me into it. But what got me fully invested into the fandom and story was Lizard Wizard's analytic videos of the series, and same with Tenille Flowers. Their videos on the Warrior Cats as a story, analyzing, you know, because I was also super into the MLP analyzing series. Analysis, that's what it's called. Analysis channels. Sadly, both channels have moved away from Warrior Cats. I think Lizard Wizard left the internet, but maybe it just stumbled on random into your stream one day. It is quite the journey. And in comparison, my series, in comparison to the canon of Warrior Cats, is quite tame. Yeah, I highly suggest reading the first series. It is personally my favorite, but that might just be nostalgia. But this book series is still going. So, be prepared for that. I have not caught up with the latest Warriors books, because after the series of Vision of Shadows came out, pissed me off so much I quit. I literally quit the fandom for a good while after that book. After that series came out. The book's annoying me, whatever. It's like, oh, at least I can still enjoy the fandom and whatnot. But no, I was the only one who it seemed like I was the only one who didn't like the new books coming out. Because everyone else was like, oh, these books are so amazing. It's remembering why I got into Warrior Cats. And, oh, Needletail is my favorite character. And I'm like, what? You guys like this? Sorry, I just, I couldn't understand the fact that I was literally the only person who didn't like where the series was going. So I kind of left the fandom for a good while. No, I'm gonna make this bigger. Technically, I'm still out of the fandom since starting my own comic, but I still like the old books. It's been a while since I've read any of the new ones, because I just don't care about the new characters anymore. And it happens. Sometimes you just leave a fandom. There's a waterfall behind them. I'll color this in white or something. And it's obvious how much, I can't deny how much the Warriors fandom has affected me on a personal and creative level. Because if you've seen any of my videos where I talk about my story Dreamwalkers, it has it smells vaguely of Warriors, especially with the fact that the leaders have a lot of star motifs. The original designs were based on cats, with a mix of Bleach, the anime, and it's still kind of, there's a vague whiff of it every once in a while. Okay, out of the fandom, but still holding on to your soul. Yeah. It's just a question room, but what's your favorite object? I want to draw you my object style. My favorite object? Object. Well, looking at my office, you have one of two choices. I am a collector of mugs and scented candles. So you got one of two choices there. Mugs or scented candles. Because I love both of them. But unlike most collectors, I actually use and burn my scented candles. Anything autumn scented, really. I mean, the current one I have, it's not burning because it's quite strong. It's supposed to smell like moss, citrus, and driftwood, but smelling it, I mean, there's a hint of citrus, but I don't get driftwood or marine moss. I'm sorry, it's just candles. Why do you a scented candle in a mug? That'll do it. So that'll be a big coffee mug too. I got this this mug here. It's just plain white. It has Coffee Addict on it, and it is quite literally the biggest mug I have ever seen. I don't know how many ounces it is, but it's literally the size of my face. I've yet to actually use it in a drinking capacity. Now it's just on my desk as kind of a thing holder. So yeah, a candle and a mug. Also, real quick, I have a bone to pick with literally every single scented candle company that thinks Ocean Breeze smells like laundry detergent. I swear to fuck, every single ocean scented candle smells like a laundry room. Lint and all. It just smells like laundry detergent. What Ocean Breeze have you been sniffing? The ocean smells like fish poo, seagull shit, and crab corpses. That's what it smells like. Oddly nostalgic, but that's what the ocean smells like. Why does every ocean-scented candle smell like a laundromat? Why? I don't know, that just pisses me off every time, because my mom loves the ocean, and I want to get her a candle that smells like the ocean, or something like that. Yeah, ocean breeze coming from the breeze coming off the socks. Yep. And every time I'm like, oh, maybe this one. It's like I'm in an abusive relationship. Like, maybe this time they'll be good, and it's bad through and through. And I'm just, no! So I just have to settle for something like, like lavender or jasmine scented, because she likes lavender and jasmine. She really likes lilacs, but I'm allergic to lilacs, so for my own safety, I can't let her have. That's the wrong. I drew squirrel flight. I drew squirrel paw wrong. I drew her cheeks wrong. That is Feathertail's cheeks. Cheek lifts. Alright, I'll draw them here. Because she's supposed to be fluffy. So I think she looks like that. I've actually never I've only drawn her once, and she's supposed to be very lean, but also has a very fluffy tail. And I'm sorry, cats that have fluffy tails also have long hair. You don't have skinny cats with fluffy tails. As much as that is a look, it just doesn't happen. So okay, now the hair being slightly off, that's okay, because, she's fighting Sharktooth. Also, I know canonically she doesn't have ear tufts, but I really want to draw her with little ear tufts to make her look more like a squirrel. Squirrels have the little, They tufts. Oh, that looks so cute, especially with this color palette. Ah, she said it looks so cute! It's funny, when I first read through the series, I hated Squirrel Paw. And Squirrel Flight. I thought she was so fucking annoying. But, after watching an analysis, Moon Kitty made an analysis video talking about Squirrel Paw, Squirrel Flight, and then hopefully Squirrel Star. I don't know if she becomes leader later, but about her character and her relationship with Brambleclaw. And listening to her talk about it, I was sitting here like, wait, did we even read the same series? Because I did not catch just how toxic their relationship is from day one. I did not catch it. But after she, like, laid out, yes, here's all the things, here's the, like, she gave pages and showed excerpts and whatnot. I was like, oh, that's quite terrible. Now I have more of an eye for it. Same thing with the character Bumblestripe. Now, the reason why I was advocating, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, whatever. But there's a character named Bumblestripe, and he has a crush on Dovewing, which I hated Dovewing's character too. And I thought, oh my god, yet another... I was getting flashbacks from... Her legs are too long, but I'll finish this sketch and then I'll finish her line art and then fix it. I was getting flashbacks to another couple, sort of not really a love triangle, but I really liked this character named Thrushpelt, and he had a crush on Bluefur, but she liked this other guy from a different clan, which is Taboo, and so, you know, he was kind of just pining after her, and she never returned his feelings till the day he died, and it was quite sad. I love Thrushpelt as a character, Thrushpelt's character. So when Bumblestripe rolled around with a crush on Dovewing, but she had feelings for a guy from a different clan, I was like, oh great, this again. Oh my god, why can't these guys catch a break? But then I actually, you know, they were talking about his relation, you know, how he acts. Bumblestripe is the nice guy archetype, where he's, I don't know why I'm not getting the attention I deserve. I'm a nice guy, right? Oh no, I did not pick up on that the first time reading it because I just hated Dovewing's character so much. It's just, man, you're so dumb. You got a hunk of a guy named Bumblestripe pining after you in your own clan. Why can't you just go with that guy? But then I actually, like, reread some of the passages and said, oh no, this is cringe. He's actually gaslighting her and trying to use guilt and his family members to guilt her into being in a relationship with him, and it was disgusting. But also, one major critique, and this is a major critique I have with the writers of Warrior Cats, which, if you don't know, it's credited as Aaron Hunter writing the Warriors series, but that Aaron Hunter is actually like 5 people that share the load of writing, which is probably why they can get a book out every year. I don't know. It's 5 ladies, yet the way the female characters are written in this series leaves much to be desired. Anytime it's like, oh, I love this character, she's my favorite, it's like, oh, you liked the fandom interpretation, don't you? Because if you just pay attention to the canon, not a lot of female characters have a lot of agency. The one exception is like Yellowfang and Blue Star. And Yellowfang is a wonderful character in the original series. If you read her novella, she's not ruined for me as a character. I still loved it, but then it's like, oh, you were forced to become a medicine cat. You didn't actually want the job. there also is a running theme of, oh, I have these ambitions to serve my clan and become a leader and whatnot, but I can't have kids. But I'm pregnant, so I can't chase my ambitions. So I have to give up my children to become leader to save my clan. It's just you can do both. I know it's hard, like being a single mother trying to raise kids, and also having workplace ambitions. But you live in a tribe where you live in a clan where everyone takes care of each other. So you could still be a mom and be clan leader. Now, later there's a character named Leaf Star, and she is the leader of Sky Clan, but she's also a mom of 3, I think, a mother of 3, and yeah, a lot of the conflict in her mini series is her trying to balance being a mom and being a clan leader, but she does it quite gracefully, I think, personally. So if you're gonna get into the Warriors fandom, be prepared. A lot of the female characters are written kind of clunkily. And the few that are written well are older women, and then they get a novella talking about their younger years, and then they're kind of not ruined, but then they fall into that same pitfall to where, oh, being a mother is a burden and I have to give up my children to chase my ambitions. And I'm just, okay. Oh, alright. Personally, I'm not a mother, so I really have no room to talk. But honestly, it was just a running theme with the series, and it got really old really fast, because it happened like 3 times. It's like, you live in clans where you all take care of each other. It's not like you have to pay child support. There are plenty of people around you that are willing to help you take care of your kids. Anyway. Ranting aside, I'm gonna have to draw on top of that. I'm going to move her 3 millimeters to the left, to the right. It's really sad considering the circumstances. Yeah. Especially since this is most definitely a spoiler, but in Blue Star's case, since she had just given birth, she was still nursing, sort of. And she's like, oh, I have to give up my children, so I need to take them to their father's clan, which is across the river in the middle of a blizzard. So not only in the real world she would be charged with endangering minors, because she took 3 babies out in the middle of a blizzard, but one of them actually ends up dying in the snow, and that forever haunts her for the rest of her life. So it's like, on the one side, there was a lot of debate on whether or not Blue Star actually had to give up her kits to become deputy, because she wasn't leader yet, so she was technically still Blue Fur. There was a lot of debate on whether or not she actually had to give up her children, and she just gave them up for nothing. But that looks weird. It's whatever. The story is written, it's been published. If you don't like the way canon turns out, make your own fan comic where you can fix all the plot holes or call out the plot holes all you like in the livelong day and realize how hard it is to actually write a goddamn story. Like I'm doing. Which is probably why I intentionally made Hawkstar, pregnant at the beginning of the story. I mean, I knew she was going to have kits in the comic, but I wanted to start the story with her being very pregnant and going on this long journey for the sake of the future, the future of her kits, and to start a new clan. Because she, like me, and all the other characters were pissed off at how the clans were working, so they're like, you know what? I'm gonna make our own clan. It's gonna have Jack Black and strippers. That's a reference to a show I've never seen before in my life. Anyway. So I think I made her pregnant, had kids, and then have StarClan say she needs to be the next leader as a form of commentary on the series, saying, oh, you can't be a mother and have workplace ambitions at the same time. There's just no room for that in this world. I'm like, excuse me? I know being a parent is hard. I've seen what my mom had to go through, but holy shit. Is it actually that impossible? Many people have proven it is not. I've been staying for an hour and a half in my notes as a page of an actual chapter. I'm still trying to get the first sentence paragraph out of my head to begin the damn story. Okay, one way that helped me pass that, because it depends on how you write. Do you write the Stephen King way, called being a pantser? Like, where you just start writing straight through? Like, by the seat of your pants, as it's called? Or do you outline? Because I highly suggest outlining. It helps. Because what I do is I bullet point story beats and dialogue. Yeah, you outline. I bullet point the hell out of it, and then if I know exactly, like, I write it out kind of like a play script, like, character says this, and while doing, in parentheses, then while doing this, character in background reacts this way. Now, for like a novel, I'm not sure how that would work, because there's the narration, which I still have not gotten the hang of, which is why I moved on to graphic novels and comics as opposed to actual writing, because I don't know how to do that. So I outline the hell out of it, and then when I actually get to writing, you just expand on the bullet points, and then eventually you have a full paragraph. You just connect the points. And I know it's not going to work well for anybody. I'm still trying to make it work well for me. These are very bad paws, but oh well. Trying to put the meat on the bones. I actually kind of suck at narration. A lot of people, which also baffled me, because anytime I would join any creative writing forums, they're like, oh, I struggle with dialogue, or I struggle with character description, and I'm just, really? That's the easy, dialogue is so freaking easy. Like, I still struggle with it, where it's like, I know the gist of what this character has to say, but exactly how they would say it is where I struggle, because each person speaks differently, so they're gonna have different mantras and different fillers for how they talk. It's just hard to find the proper words to begin this whole story because it's a long-ass project and the beginning needs to catch people. Hey, one thing I also suggest, you can write the story out of order and then just reformat it later. If you have no idea how it actually begins, start in the middle and work your way there. Or if you know exactly, if you know exactly how it ends, write the ending and then reverse engineer the story from that. Because the beginning, yes, does need to catch people, but it also is the hardest part of any story because you need to set up characters, you need setting, time, date, genre. There's a lot to get through. So what I would suggest is actually writing your story and then figure out how to write the intro to introduce it, you know, to audience. Because then you already know what the story is. YouTube community pass, since I don't know the way to... Okay, yeah, I should probably set up a Discord or something, but I'm scared to moderate that. I know the story bits, not the plot that I'm struggling with, just how to... Yeah, I understand. Thesaurus.com actually helps a lot. Oh! Oh no. The lean on this guy. I've actually never drawn Brambleclaw before. I mean, I've drawn him twice before, but never in my current style, so trying to figure out how to draw this main guy is going to be difficult. Because he's one of the main characters for a good chunk of the series. And I think he gets a little too much attention. And literally, I don't know why he's the main character. His only character is, I look just like my father, and therefore people think I'm evil. Which, I mean, I get to a degree. People make assumptions about me, just based on things that I kind of don't want to get into. But I don't know. The whole Warrior series would be a lot shorter if these cats got to therapy. Like, if therapy existed in the Warrior Cats world, so many problems would have resolved themselves. Down for the first 11 chapters, even more from years back. I need... Sure, we were just trying to squeeze out the first few paragraphs. Yeah. For chat. So you would be a Pantser Blade. And you're in good company, because that's how Stephen King writes his novels. I used to write that way, and I hated every moment of it because none of the, like, character plots would add up eventually. So I outline the hell out of everything I do now. And Phoenix, I don't know if this would help, like, your creative process. But if you're having trouble describing or getting the first few paragraphs out, you might want to try just sketching it. Like, what it looks like. And, you know, get it out of your head visually and then describe what you see. Because then maybe the words would come to you. And it doesn't have to be a full illustration. Just like a little stick figure sketch. But that's just one suggestion. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I have such trouble with narration that I actually just decided, fuck it. I'm just gonna draw. Because when I would try to describe what's going on, it was very visually heavy. And it also didn't help that when I imagined my story in my head, it was like fully animated like a movie or a cartoon. So try to describe a movie intro is really hard without just relying heavily on thousands of years ago there was an ancient war and the thing and the plot and the MacGuffin and the poetry and whatnot. Honestly, it's a little overdone. Just get right into the action. Just let the audience figure it out for themselves. Don't give the audience 4. Give them 2 and 2 so they can put 4 together. That is one piece of writing advice that I absolutely love, and I am still trying to work it out, because I'll give my audience 2 and 2, and maybe and this is obvious to me as the writer what the answer is, but then when I get comments like, oh, is this thing going to happen? I go, oh, wait a minute, that's not what I was supposed to, that's not what I was intending. Alright, rework. Oh, okay, let me know if that works out for you. Just sketch it real quick. Doesn't have to be pretty, as long as you know what you're looking at, and then describe what you see. My first stories were incoherent messes, but my current one's going to write off of... base my writing off of Divergent. Oh, those ones. I haven't read that series. I haven't even read Hunger Games. I just watched the movie and went, yep, that's it for me. First watching the Hunger Games series, I was like, okay, this is pretty interesting, you know, as a movie. And then people were like, oh, the books are so much better. And I was like, all right, yeah, fine, I'll just take your word for it. Because I was reading Redwall and Warrior Cats. I didn't really want to add another book series on top of it. One that I potentially wouldn't even like. Because I'm a loyalist like that. And then somehow it came, they said that the Hunger Games was supposed to be based off of the Minotaur myth. Was that Percy? Was that Percy with the Minotaur? Perseus? Or was that Theseus? I don't know my Greek mythology. Anyway, it was based on Greek mythology, and I'm sitting here like, okay, vaguely, but Maze Runner is more based on the Minotaur myth than Hunger Games, and I don't think Maze Runner was actually supposed to be based on anything Greek mythology-wise. And the only thing Maze Runner had in common with Theseus, yeah, it was Theseus, thank you, had in common with Theseus was, oh yeah, Perseus was with Medusa and the Pegasus. Okay. Yeah. Theseus was the maze. So, I mean, if you tilt your head and squint, Hunger Games is kind of like the Minotaur myth, but saying, oh yeah, it's based on this mythology, but they could have leaned into it a little more. Because for me, it's like, if you're gonna base a story off something, why not go full manic? Then I had an idea in my head for a perfect fusion of Maze Runner and the Hunger Games. And I hadn't written it out yet because I'm not sure how I would write it out. But it was basically like these, it might be tributes or criminals. I might go the criminal route. Or tributes or criminals or children of some sort are sent to this maze to face the beast and whatnot. And there, I would also throw in the tower, you know, where Icarus and his dad lived after building the labyrinth. And the only real thing I had in mind for that story is like the big main plot twist is the Monitor. The Monitor is the air quote champion of the last round, but being forced to kill all those people to survive kind of turned them into a monster, even though they're just basically a person. I don't know, it sounded better in my head. Remember Theseus because he had an awful boss fight with Hades. Oh, that might be the, based on the games. Criminals on trial, if they succeed, they're fed to their verdicts. I didn't have really an idea, but like, I didn't have it fully fleshed out, but I did want, like, the main plot twist was the beast, the Monitor beast, was just a person that was deprived of their humanity. And, like, the main character, last tribute standing, is, like, the beast's sister that only got into the trials to try and find their sister because they were a tribute from years past. So that's what my plot twist was gonna be for that one. I like those kind of stories that are, yeah, proto-genocide hero type turns into a villain. But here's the thing, I would write it in such a way to where the monster was never the villain. The Monitor was just a byproduct of, not a byproduct of society, that's not what I want to say, but, like, they made the monster. It's like, even in the original myth with the Monitor did nothing wrong. It couldn't choose the fact that it was born of very, very unfortunate circumstances and then was locked away to be shunned and shamed and treated as a monster for its entire life. It didn't ask to be born. So why is it punished for being what it was made to be? Well, that's all. So Theseus is glorified for killing the Monitor, but the Monitor was not the real monster. The king was for ordering tribute of two of the most beautiful youth from the cities he owned and threw them into the labyrinth for what? To feed the bastard bestiality child of his queen because they didn't do their proper ritual to what's his face? Poseidon? Greek gods are petty, is what I'm trying to say. It's the same thing with, Medusa. It depends on which version you read, because there are some versions where she was cursed by Athena out of jealousy for sleeping with Poseidon. There's other versions where she was raped by Poseidon and Athena blessed her with being cursed to, you know, turn into a monster. But in one of the older texts that you can find is Medusa was a Gorgon, who are born monsters. And she just had the ability to turn people to stone. But either way, it's a tragic thing. She is living in a cave. She's not hurting anybody. Medusa just wants to be left alone, and yet her cave is surrounded by men who just wouldn't get the hint, and they paid with their lives. Because she just wanted to be left alone. Literally, Medusa, in every version of the myth, Medusa was not hurting anybody. She was just living in her cave. That paw's facing the wrong way. Monitor's basically just, bro, he didn't want to kill, he was just forced. Yeah, and if he's half bull, he would be a vegetarian. But there was, like, implied that he ate the tributes? It's like, well, yeah, any animal would turn carnivorous just to get extra protein. Like, deer will sometimes eat birds. Like, bucks, deer, will sometimes eat birds to get extra protein to grow their antlers. Happens all the time. Cows will sometimes eat snakes for a little extra protein, and even gnaw on bones for the vitamins and the minerals that they need for their hooves and bones. So of course the Monitor was eating people. He's a vegetarian. He's literally starving. And sure, yeah, he was half human, but humans, I mean, are not obligate carnivores. We're we're omnivores. Bulls and cows are obligate herbivores. They need to eat veggies and grass. They eat grass. Cows do not eat corn and vegetables of the like. They eat grass. So unless there was a giant, beautiful garden within that labyrinth for the Monitor to munch on when tribute time wasn't rolling around, that poor guy was starving. Unless it's like a Matador situation where they tortured the Monitor to chase and attack people. But also, honestly, why didn't the king just kill it? Honestly, you got a half-man, half-bull thing that your queen birthed because she fucked a bull. Yes, that is actually how it happened. In the myth. Why didn't you just kill it? Did Poseidon say, oh, if you kill this child, I'll curse your lands? You obviously don't care about Poseidon because you didn't give him your his proper sacrificial rites that one year, which is what got you into this mess. Or honestly, why didn't you just, like, give him to a nymph or something? Why go through this? Why commission the smartest man in all of Sicily or Cyprus or something? I think it was Sicily. In all of the land, to build a labyrinth to hold this monster that isn't even really a monster, and then lock him in a tower so he can't give away the secrets of the labyrinth, when you could have just, like, dropped him off with some forest nymphs or give him to his dad. Let his dad the bull have custody over him. Put him in a flock. There you go. Literally any other solution to that problem. But he's a politician, so we can't expect him to be too smart. That's the wrong chin. Anyway, if you can't tell, I know Greek mythology because I was forced to study it in mythology class, but I absolutely hate Greek and Roman mythology. I much prefer Norse mythology. It was just more fun to learn. That it was funny. Norse mythology was funny. A lot of people said, "Oh, Norse mythology is so depressing because of Ragnarok." I was like, so the world, the world is going to end because of the apocalypse. Yeah, so we're gonna fucking party our life away because, hey, what the fuck, we're gonna die anyway, might as well just have fun. That is literally Norse mythology in a nutshell. We're all gonna die anyway, might as well just have fun. I didn't realize how freaking long this line art was gonna take me. Because if not, I would have just done it off stream and then just focused on the colors. Oh well. Yeah, no hate to anybody who likes Greek mythology. My brother's a big fan of studying Greek and Roman mythology, but I mean, personally, I'm sick of it because it's literally fucking everywhere. But that's because the Romans, wrote shit down. The Nordics didn't write down much, and what they did write down was translated by Catholic monks that were trying to Christianize everything, so they didn't write it down authentically. They wrote down their interpolation of the text. You'll see a pattern with most Christian and Catholic scribes. They don't actually translate, they interpolate, which is why the Bible is so janky. And I don't want to get into any religious debates over stream while I'm drawing cats. So I understand why we don't have a whole lot on Norse mythology, none that is authentic to the original text. But at the same time, I just roll my eyes whenever it's like, oh, here's a new mythology movie and it's based on the Greek and Roman gods. I'm just, ugh, again? The potential that Aztec and Mayan mythology has is untapped potential. Which is why I love the miniseries No Evil that Betsy Lee's been animating over the past, 10 years? Because she somehow managed to perfectly blend Aztec and Native American and also folk American folk tales. And it works. It works so well. It is very well done. And that leg is all wrong. Forced to learn something. Yeah. But it was we talked about different different mythologies. We did talk about Mayan and Aztec, which is why I think that is an absolute gold mine of untapped potential. I mean, you got gods like... hold on, I know it. You have, gods like Quetzalcoatl, and, what's the sun name? What's the name of the sun god? My sister knows it. Anyway, why do we keep doing Greek and Roman mythology when the Aztecs and Mayans are sitting right there? That would be so cool. With just half of the myths that they have. With the 4 Tezcatlapocas. And how the suns, the earth started out with having different colors suns and different gods taking over. And how the black Tezcatlipoca was kind of evil and it was raining jaguars all the time. And then there was the red Tezcatlipoca that was actually trying to consume humanity. And when Quetzalcoatl came around, the white Tezcatlipoca said, you know what? Fuck you. I'm gonna be the next sun, and we're gonna do this right. So he took all the bones of the humans to go and bring them down to Earth to rebuild the planet after being destroyed by so many different Tezcatlipoca's that kept getting bored. But he, on the way down to Earth, he tripped, and the bones broke, which is why we come in all different shapes and sizes. Because a flying snake tripped and dropped the bones of all the remains of the ancient humans, which is why we all look different. I don't know about you. That is a hilarious origin story for humanity. That if you want to draw the horror aspect, you can, there's a lot of avenues, because there's the red Tezcatlipoca, which is the flayed man, who has no skin. And what is this pose? Oh, that's it. Okay. My sketch was all weird. Wasn't there that one horror film where where a teenage girl and a serial killer switched bodies because he sacrificed her body? You know, her school was built on an old Aztec temple. Wasn't that like a thing? It was kind of like a Freaky Friday situation. But it was like a horror macabre comedy. Because then the serial killer got a chance at a second life. Because then he was young. But also he had a different identity. But then the teenage girl was in the body of the known serial killer. Was like, oh, they're gonna throw me in prison. I have to find my original body and whatnot. I don't remember what it was called, but it was kind of based on Freaky Friday. So I think it has something like that. I vaguely remember the trailer. It looked funny, but it looked like it had a lot of cringe humor, which cringe humor and I do not get along very well. Yeah, it did look pretty funny. It was like Freaky something, but it wasn't Freaky Friday. It was like, it might have been something like Freaky Friday the 13th. I don't know. But it wasn't Friday the 13th. But maybe it was. I don't remember. Oh wait, no, not yet. Toot, eyes, ears. Oh wait, they're not quite accurate. There we go. But if we're gonna make movies based on different mythologies, we should probably consult people from that culture so we can get a more accurate representation. Which I say that, but then none of my stories are based on American folktales. Because I don't see the appeal of writing another story about Calamity Jane or Pecos Bill. Even though that's all I have, really. But then I could go in... I kind of got away with it with some Gatesville. Because Gatesville is a story based on werewolves and vampires, which is very British, and I have British heritage. I also have Irish heritage, German heritage, and I'm Jewish, so I can pick from any of their mythologies. A lot of Irish and Celtic mythology is really fascinating. Alright. We are going to save. Okay, save. Now that I think about it, it might actually be called Freaky Friday the 13th. But I could be wrong. But that just sounds right. Okay, I'm going to color... I'm going to color her bit and then work on the rest of the other bits. You know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna do the whole 9 yards. Okay. I absolutely hate that I draw all my characters differently in every other shot. Like, they're never consistent. Consistency who? Because in the latest, one of the latest pages I posted, I drew Brindlefur like 3 separate times in the same page, and she looked completely different each time. And I just, I want to, you know, I like Brindlefar's character. Like, she's not quite at the part in her character arc where she's at the point that I like her. Because we're getting to that in the future. But, in the meantime, it's just like, I want to write, have her character more involved with the story because of where her story ends up. But at the same time, it's just, she's so fucking hard to draw. So I've kind of subconsciously not had her appear in a lot of different scenes. So I need to work on that. That's weird. Alright, here we go. Don't ask me why I got a Kiss song stuck in my head. It just is. God gave rock and roll to you. God gave rock and roll to you. Yeah, about that. I mean, as fun as it would be to redraw some of the old pages, that is unless you're publishing, it's kind of a waste of time. Because then as you're redrawing, your style changes again. Unless it would be like I might do it as like a fun challenge thing. Like this July, we're coming up on the 4-year anniversary of this comic. So maybe for that, I'll redraw the first page in my current style. But that's a slippery slope and a highly addictive drug. And July, I'm gonna be busy. So busy in July. But in July, the comic will be on hiatus for Art Fight. So maybe I'll do it then. But the first page of the comic has like no dialogue and it's just them walking and meeting up. So who knows, maybe. Because that's how I started my story. I just threw the audience in there and said, keep up, bitch! Hey, it's not a must. Just saying it's an option. Yeah, I've thought about it. Her ears. Man alive. I don't know if you guys can hear that over my mic, but the wind is just killer today. It's just... I'm gonna blow the house down. Since there's a bit more prologue or a chapter 0. Yeah, yeah. Right, hey. She has green eyes, right? Yeah. Oh, I need to color that in. Hold up. God damn, I don't know why I'm so tired. Really, I slept fine. I'm not that sick. My goodness. I guess I am that sick. Oh, I forgot the bottom. My body feels the same way. But it's weird because usually when I'm this tired, when I'm tired, my eyes will hurt and my body will feel heavy. But I don't feel any of that. But it's still giving me the tired signal. So I don't know what's going on. I know he's supposed to have amber eyes, but giving Brambleclaw more reddish orange eyes just makes more sense for his character. Since really his only character is, you know, character arc is, my dad was evil, so that must mean I feel the pull to evil as well. It's like, alright. Dumbass. And the only reason Tawny Pelt didn't feel the same pull to evil because her father was evil is because she doesn't look like him. Brambleclaw looks a lot like his father, at least that's what they say, to the point where everyone is like, oh, it looks just like Tiger Star, ooh, it's an omen. It's like, oh, fuck off. I hate the, you look just like your ancestor, so that must mean you're going to act like them too. It's like, well, that they will if you treat them a certain way, you jackass. It's, oh, you look like a monster, so that must mean you are a monster. It's like, well, they're only gonna act like a monster if you treat them that way. Dick. Sins of the Father type of trope. Ah, yes, that's what it's called. Mm-hmm. In my case, I was get exhausted from the fourth floor neighbor just doing renovations at 9 in the morning, 5 in the afternoon, constant drilling and banging. Oh, no. Gross. Yeah, but managing is not the same as living, if you know what I mean. I forgot to color in all of that. Okay, wait, hold on. So the light's coming from that angle. It just annoys the hell out of me. I want to stream that day, actually do some voice recording for put cast call. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's torture. He sleeps through it somehow. You could get back at him by listening to the Doom Eternal soundtrack at 3 in the morning at max volume. But then again, there might be some HR complaint. Not HR complaints, but complaints with the landlord. Wait, if your upstairs neighbor is renovating? I'm assuming you live in an apartment. Shouldn't the landlord be taking care of the renovations? Or just the repairs? Or are you like it? I don't know what your living situation is. Oh my god. They look so cute. Alright, how am I gonna do this? They're all right next to each other, so that means I have to alternate layers. Okay. Most apartments here are owned, I think. No landlords, as far as I know. I live... Oh! Okay, I see. Yeah, there's really nothing you can do about that. I live with my family, too. And, we don't have neighbors. Like, the loudest neighbors we have are coyotes. And, I mean, we manage with the coyotes, and I hate it when people say, oh, coyotes are a danger to livestock. It's like, bitch, how? They're opportunistic scavengers. But in every other story, I say, oh, a coyote killed a deer. And it's just like, one coyote, because they hunt in solitary, did not take down an entire deer. Unless that deer was already dead or dying, the coyote would just kind of wait for it to die and then eat. Because they don't hunt in packs. At least none that's been documented. Anyway. Okay, and Tawny Pelt. Oh my god, Tawny Pelt. Again, had no idea she was a tortoiseshell. Seen that one fly away. Not sure if you moved since then, but I saw it. Man, that vlog was so long ago. That was, yeah, when I was living in a different house, but still on the same property. I am out of that house now because that house is now unlivable. Had nothing to do with me. And I just... That vlog was so cringe. I don't... here's the thing. A lot of... Like, some channels I follow are art channels, and they have a secondary vlog channel that every single one of them has since been abandoned because it's like, yeah, as a work-from-home independent artist, what could you possibly be vlogging? Now, in her case, she lives in California. So she's got, like, plenty of artist alleys and, you know, trips around town and camping trips that she vlogged. And family outings and whatnot. I would basically be vlogging like, alright guys, getting ready for the stream, see you soon. Alright guys, stream is over, my voice is dead, ha ha, I'm gonna go pass out and into a coma now. Wake up, hey guys, getting ready to do comics. It's 3 hours later and I'm done. I'm still working on comics. He tee hee. Vlog life. Making some soup. And I'm gonna eat it. I mean, that would literally be my vlog. Any vlog I make now. Now, there's this one channel, Hannah Duggan? Hannah Duggan or Duncan? I don't know. I think it was Duggan. She, her YouTube channel is basically a vlog channel because, she lives in rusted cabins. So there's, like, she's got more to talk about every day, you know, cabin life. And she was renovating both the cabins, 2 cabins, and a cottage, mostly by herself. And also, as a perk, she was also really funny and cute, so... And doesn't mind being on camera as much, or at the very least, she doesn't show that she doesn't mind being on camera. For me, I hate being on camera. Because I have to pretty myself up, and I just don't have the energy to do that most of the time. But then, if you, like, vlog your life on the internet's starting to pick it apart. They're like, oh, look at her in this last vlog, she looks so disgusting, ugh. And then they'll throw it back in your face. It's like, dude, you've never, like, had a lazy day? Get over yourself. House is way... Yeah. Here's the thing. Phoenix, where do you live? Well, anyway. The housing market in America is absolutely bonkers right now. It is just crazy. Yes, ideally you would live in a house on property that you own, so you don't have to pay taxes on it. Or at least pay property taxes anyway. But good Jesus, is it so expensive. And that's just for, like, not even, like, a full house. This is a house that's, like, 2-bedroom, a half bath on, you know, without having any sort of property. And it is just, ugh. I've lived on 8 acres of land my entire life, so I don't think I could ever live in an area where I don't have a big-ass backyard. What the fuck is wrong with my pen? Anyway, so I could never, you know, yeah, the mature adult thing for me to do would be to like get an office job somewhere and go live in an apartment in the city to maybe someday save up enough to have my own house. But good God, is that just, it's not cost effective where I live. Oh, currently Romania, center of the city. Moving to Germany later this year. I hear Germany's really nice. The people, not so much, but the country and the healthcare benefits, I hear, are pretty nice. I wish you the best of luck in Deutschland. Oh, good, yeah. That's good. You know, and my state is fine. The biggest perk for my state is that our electricity is so cheap because we have all the dams that make our, you know, pretty cheap electricity. Is Scrollflight a tabby? No, she's not, but she does have that white paw. There. But if I had to move anywhere, like my dream move would, in all honesty, be West Virginia. Now, this is an old design I had of Tawny Pelt, which isn't exactly canon because she's not tortoiseshell and white, but all of the designs of her have her being mostly dark. Ah, come on. With orange patches, you know, like this. But her name is Tawny Pelt, which means she's mostly going to be a tawny color. So she's going to be brownish and more deer colored. So I might come back to her. I already know what, oh, I should bring up that reference. That refers. Alright. Okay. I'll just get rid of that. Still practicing the language. Oh boy. Yeah, I know very little German. And I hate saying, oh, I know a bit of that language, because then people say, oh, can you say some? And it's just, no. I actually don't. When I say I know very little of the language, I just know when someone is speaking it, sort of. And, wunderbar. That's about it. Zelf. I see, yeah, I know absolutely very little German. I know very little of any other language. I struggle with English, even though it's my mother tongue. Very good candy, by the way. Oh, okay. Take your word for it. Well, I need to look at, and I need to pull up another ref real quick. Because I couldn't save any of the old pages because I had to delete them from my computer for storage space, but pain in the ass. So all of the old pages I have to look at DeviantArt and hope DeviantArt doesn't take them down. It's over-rendered here, but I guess I can just ad-lib. Okay. Oh, Wunderbar is a chocolate candy? I thought... I might have said it wrong. I thought Wunderbar meant very good. But honestly, they probably named the chocolate bar Wunderbar. Because we got a chocolate bar named Payday and Good and Plenty. So I guess that makes sense. Oh, yeah, okay, it's both. My great-great-great-grandfather was German, and he moved to America from Germany back in 19 something. And he moving to America, he got the flu, he got influenza, where he met a kind woman that nursed him back to health, and she later became my great-great-grandmother. I don't know the full details because I get them all mixed up. But I do know he was from Germany. He left before World War II because his father had a really bad feeling about what was to come for Germany. So he warned both his sons, get out now. And my grandfather, my great-great-whatever grandfather was the one that got out the first time. So he dodged that bullet. And I may or may not be wrong about this one, but my mom said she has some vague remembrance about an old photo of my great-great-grandfather in Germany wearing a kippa. So that's a thing with my family. But that may or may not be true. I'm probably remembering wrong. But yeah, I never got to meet him. He was before my time. But yeah. That's how part of my mother's side of the family came to America. On my dad's side of the family, I actually don't know where my dad's side of the family came from. He doesn't really care about that, so he hasn't really told me any stories or whatnot. But on my mom's side, my uncle did a full genealogical research and found out, traced our family heritage all the way back to before the Revolutionary War. So my family's been in America way back when. We have family members that signed a very important document called the Flushing Remonstrance. And you don't hear a lot about it in American history, but basically it was a petition signed by a whole bunch of people telling the government to stop harassing people and allowed people to practice religious freedom, because that was the whole point of America, to come to America to stop being persecuted by the church for not being Catholic, or their version of Catholic. So that's cool. Oh god, now I gotta draw that again. He also traced it all back where confirmed I have a ancestor that served in almost every single, because I think we like skipped Korea or something, every single American war, including Revolutionary, Civil, World War I, World War II. I think maybe somehow we didn't serve, they didn't serve in Vietnam, but in nearly every American war, I have a family member that served. So needless to say, I very much support the military, and I support veterans and veterans' family. Down my mother's side, her father's family originated from Russia, got a good amount of money, but the state took it away when they fled. Yeah, they ran away from the Cossacks. I was very displeased to discover that none of my family were displeased in a sarcastic sense that I have no family ties to the Salem witch trials. None of my family's ancestries were burned at the stake or whatnot, so I can't claim that side of history. And historically, my family, on my mother's side at least, was very Christian. Very Christian and Catholic, but not Quaker or Puritan. But still advocated for religious freedom. Yeah, probably. But their names, my ancestors' names, are on the document, the Flushing Remonstrance, which was... It had something to do with the Puritans, but I think they were advocating for the Puritans' right to practice their own religion. And yeah, we all know how that turned out. It was not too great. But at least we advocated for the right to religious freedom, you know. So that's cool. Okay, now I gotta blur this side. Man, I don't know if y'all can hear that, but that wind is really picking up. I'm surprised my internet hasn't crapped out. Unless it has, and I don't even know. Not a bit on religion myself. I respect people as long as they don't force it on others. Yeah, same. Mostly same here. As long as you're not hurting anybody, I honestly do not give a damn about how you live your life. But if you're gonna be an asshole about it, you're gonna be on my shit list. Yeah, that's the shock of it all. Is usually when the wind picks up even slightly, my internet just goes, wow! But maybe it's because I got a VPN that my internet doesn't realize it's supposed to be bad. But I don't know if that's how it works. Wait. I forgot. There we go. Whoosh. Tell you you're the greatest, but once you turn my hate us, oh, the misery. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Spare sympathy. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Look out for yourself, my enemy. It is one thing comics is teaching me. You know, surprisingly, comics and animation are pretty similar. So I figure if I want to get into animation eventually, I should know the fundamentals of comics. And comics, you know, is teaching me about consistency. And how much of a pain in the ass it is. But it's worth it in the end. Doobie 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 dooba doobie 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 dooba. Okay, she's done. Okay, we just need to do Tawny Pelt. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do that. I could do the reverse brindle fur. Slowly engrave itself into your reflexes, or rather habits. Yeah. That's the hope with this project. She's described in the book as being lean, tortoiseshell, and white. And in the official art, they draw her as being mostly dark. But I'm just hung up on the fact that her name is Tawny Pelt and they draw her like mostly black. And that just, I mean, looking at her parents, her father is a brown tabby and her mother is a golden tabby. And yet she came out a tortoiseshell. So I'm thinking she needs to be more of these colors. You know, actually tawny and orange. But tortoiseshell, that's the problem. Tortoiseshell is mostly dark brown with hints of orange. You know, I'll just come back to her later. I'm gonna do these guys now. I'm gonna erase this. All right, now stone. No, Stormfur. He looks like Stonefur. He is Stormfur. Is easy. That's it. I am realizing the more I study character design and whatnot that I am very much a minimalist when it comes to character design. And I literally... for Crowpaw over here. That's it. Here's the thing, he's described... Crowpaw is also described as a smoky gray, almost black Tom with blue eyes. So that means he actually shouldn't be this blue. You want blue. She doesn't want blue. Blue and yellow, no. So I'm thinking, if you're gonna describe something as smoky, that means it's gonna be something more like this. With some of this. And a little bit of this. And then we blur. Shoot. There we go. Now I never have to draw him again. Now for the Brambleclaw. He is just brown tabby. That's all he is. Now in the manga they draw him with like some like lighter patches. But he's not described that way in the books. And as much as I love the mangas, I like to be as book accurate as possible. So we're gonna ixnay that. A little bit on the muzzle, because that's how cats look. Well, maybe not. Hold on. It's supposed to look like his father, but to make him look slightly different from Tiger Star, I'm going to give him the dark bits. How do I usually draw tabbies? Okay, I like that top bit. I might give him black paws, actually. You have to draw it over and over again. You want to go to strict minimum. Yeah, yeah. But even with my illustrations, like with my last video, that was a very minimalistic design, despite there being ruffles fucking everywhere. Ruffles. That's why do I choose to design some of my characters from the Victorian era? Or at least Edward, Victorian inspired? Why? Why do I do that to myself? There's so much lace and ruffles and folds and just social etiquette and whatnot. Ruffles, ruffles, ruffles. Lace, lace, lace. Why do I do that to myself? He kind of actually, I might have gone a bit overboard, because that kind of looks like how I would draw Broken Star, who is also a dark brown tabby with broad shoulders. No relation to Tiger Star. Hang on, I'm gonna be away for a second. I did draw Brambleclaw once a very long time ago, in a different style, so I'm gonna scroll down and try to find that on my DeviantArt, because how the hell, of course it's not gonna be working. How the hell did I do that? Okay, no, that's the Broken Star, Wires, Leaf Pulls, Two Fly. Is this it? No, that's not it. Ah, here it is. Oh, gross. The way I used to draw tabbies, man. I did not know how stripes worked. Oh, one thing, if you're gonna get into the Warriors fandom, one thing you should realize is that we have a plethora of broad-shouldered, brown tabby toms with amber eyes. And that's literally every other character. And more often than not, they're evil. So if you like brown tabby toms, guess what? They're gonna be evil. And they're not even like cool James Bond villains. They're like, oh, I have ambitions to be leader, and I'm gonna be evil. Because and mean. Because I'm strong, and strength is the only thing that matters, and I eat babies and whatnot. And it's just, there's not, I mean, as fun as classic villains are, they're not fun, if you know what I mean. They're just, there's no intricacy to that. There's no poetry to be had in villains that are just evil for evil's sake. But they're not like fun evil like Skeletor, who's just evil for the sake of evil. They're not even fun. They're just evil. Because. They're not even like Voltaire evil, where it's like, when you're evil, this is the life I lead. You see, the devil tips his hat to me, and it's so easy when you're evil, and I do it all for free. See, they're not like fun villains. They're just evil, evil, blah, blah, blah. I'm the bad guy. Fear me. Hello, Emerald. We are ranting about poorly written villains and how they're just not fun anymore. You know what, I'm gonna bring up my old design of Tawny Pelt and, work from that, because I actually kind of like it. I'm not gonna go this crazy. But, I mean, I could, also. I'll stick with this one. Alright, so... Oh yeah, Doofenshmirtz is, yeah, evil for the sake of evil, because he's just fun. He's just funny and fun. And you can't help but root for him. And really, he's only evil because he makes inventions, but then he uses the inventions as an excuse to just talk about his childhood trauma. And it's basically just therapy for him. And come on, he's also a great dad. I haven't seen a lot of Phineas and Ferb, but I do know, like, I do know, like, the memes. And that the creator of the show is just hilarious. Alright, that'll be that base. Mm-hmm. No, I'm just gonna... Oops. Oops. Cut it off there. I'm gonna give her eyeshadow. Because I'm a grunge bitch. And then with the tortoiseshell, she's gonna have, darker spots. And she's not like... I mean, there's no Cruella de Vil villains in Warrior Cats either. There's hardly any female villains. There are literally 2. And I can't tell you a thing about them. Yeah, Shredder from Ninja Turtle. Well, it depends on which version of Shredder we're talking about. Because some, like, the original Shredder from the 80s, oh yeah, so fun. But if we're talking, like, Shredder from... I don't like that. I think I'm gonna use a different orange. If we're talking like Shredder from the 2012 Ninja Turtles, he was kind of just the I crave vengeance, so I'm going to be evil because I'm angry. Which is fine, but it's not fun or sympathetic because all of his problems are his own damn fault. Kind of like G1 Megatron. Now, I absolutely love Megatron as a villain, but G1 Megatron is like, you have no one to blame but yourself, and because he's just so goddamn incompetent. He's literally too dumb to live. We're talking video games too. There's like yeah, Bowser's a good villain. Really doesn't have a lot of motivation to be evil. He's just the bad guy because he kind of just happens to be. He's more like just a schoolyard bully. I'm not quite happy with this tawny pelt design, but we kind of gotta get a move on, because if I'm just futzing over it. Fuck it. What's the... I'm just gonna look up. What's the canon design for tawny pelt? Alright. Alright. I'm going with this. My sister finally finished watching G1, and oh my god, she's had a few hour-long rants about the series. Actually, hold on. That's kind of a look. Hold up. Hello. If I make this slightly more brown. And make these orange patches more prominent. Okay. Now I'm free, now I'm moving. Come on, Bat Dad, let's get grooving. I can only look you in the eyes right now. Alright. Okay. She ate. I don't know, is this a serve? Is she serving? She kind of... Oh, no. No, not quite like Brindlefur, but I kind of wish I designed Brindlefur like this. Look at that, it's so simplistic. But I don't want to have to redesign Brindlefur again. Oh my goy. Oh my goy, Rowan Claw, why did it take you so long to propose to this? Sometimes my genius, it's almost frightening. Our rant last time about holidays. Yep. Oh man, you missed it. Earlier I was having like a 3-hour rant about the eclipse and how people are so fucking stupid. I forgot about the other cat. I forgot. Hold up. We ain't done with the base coloring yet. Hold up. That's not what a tutor looks like. Oh, fuck me. There we go. I'll have to deal with it later. Alright, I'm gonna finish this. Like the most orange under the eye. He's in front legs. The shoulder pads. Yeah. I mean, if I had to draw a human Tawny Pelt, I would probably put her in like some sort of football gear or rugby gear. I would put her in rugby gear. She's very much a tough girl. She could... I feel like she could... If we, like, do human headcanons, I feel like Tawny Pelt could totally, absolutely beat Brambleclaw in an arm wrestling contest. But she chooses not to because it's just a waste of time. She's like, why? That's not a question I need answered. Alright, now the dialogue goes under that, but this is a cooter paw here, which doesn't really look like it, but we're supposed to imply that it's a cooter, because if you know the Warriors canon, they fight a cooter in one of the books. And it doesn't end well for a few of the characters. Yeah, that kind of reads cooter. Okay, the only thing that's actually bothering me now is the fact that she is so pigmented, and I didn't realize their browns were so similar, so I think I need to change his brown, because I like hers. His, I think... Oh, I created this avatar myself. Ah, no, that's Dios mío, no bueno. Oh, that's better. Oh, okay, this is better. I created this avatar all by myself. And she is my official Sona. Alright, boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop. This is a wrong layer. Deep breaths. Okay, there we go. That's better. Now their browns are similar, but they don't match. And since they're on a different layer, they don't have, like, the rim lighting and whatnot. Alright, characters are finally fucking done. Oh, I can breathe. And I also will be right back, everybody. I'm drinking so much coffee. I'm gonna take a bathroom break real quick, but I will be right back. I'm gonna mute my mic real quick, just in case. made it back from the dead. And we are back. Speaking about my PNG, I might redraw it sometime soon. I'm not redesigning anything, but this PNG was made before my newest design, where my avatar is actually wearing a corset or pinafore type thing. But that takes so much time, and with my promise of weekly videos and streams and trying to keep up with the comic, it's being quite difficult. So, that is put on hold. Yeah, I don't want to hit burnout either. Alright, everyone, hush. Spoilers. Alright, here's the color of the caves. I'm gonna leave room in between these since it is a flashback like I did for the last ones. I mean, it's something I want to do, and I've been planning to do it for a while. It's just, it takes me, the sketches take me so long to do. Once I get the sketches and just drawing the different, figuring out the different poses, the talking and non-talking sprites, and then also just the added drawing them blinking is just an extra file. And those don't take long at all. They're just tedious. That's all it is. It's just tedious and repetitive. So my brain gets bored easy. I'm gonna put the waterfall on its own separate layer so I can render it differently. The lighting in this shot is gonna be so fun. Also, okay, last time I had a bunch of canon characters on screen, I put their names on screen. I put their names on the page so that any audience members not in the know could, or like not know how I designed them, would know who's talking and whatnot, but then like OG fans would be like, oh, that's your design of this character. That's pretty cool. But for this one, I'm not sure I have a whole lot of room for that. And this is mostly a nod for, like, I draw this comic with since it's a fan comic, I draw it with the assumption that the audience knows Warrior Cats and has read the books, so I feel like I don't need to fully explain every little reference, because it is a fan comic. Now, if this was its own standalone, oh yeah, I'd explain who the characters are, what the references are, at least sort of. Because, like, in some of the future pages, like, actually, no, that one's already published. One of the published pages, they mention the Battle of Blood Clan, which is a major arc in the books that the characters would already know about, so they wouldn't need to, like, fully explain it. Is my thing? It's a little bit delayed. There we go. So Majesty does you're not very good with your own character design. The vibe? Oh yeah. It took me a while to land on this vibe. And I'm still trying to figure out how to fuse grunge and cottagecore. So if anyone's got any ideas on how to do that and what it would be called, I'm all ears. Because I've been racking my brain trying to figure out how it would work. Because the vibe I want to go for is basically imagine, a hobbit in Erebor. Like, try to merge Hobbiton with Tolkien dwarves. Alright, oh, gotta... Yeah, I have no idea. I'm completely lost on how I would do that, because... Ugh. It's killing me and taking control. Jealousy, turning saints into the sea, swimming through sick lullabies, choking on your alibis. But it's just the price I pay. Destiny is calling me. Open up my eager eyes, 'cause I missed a bright side. As much as I love the original, there is a version. Wow. There is a version. God fucking damn. An acoustic version called Mr. Brightside, but it's gay. I absolutely love that version because it's just so calm, and he's playing an acoustic guitar in the background, and you feel the sorrow and grief that's meant to be associated with the lyrics of the song, and it's so good. Alright, so now these two scenes were at night, so that means they're going to be very much darker. Oh, scheiße. Hold on. There we go, there we go, there we go. And then, I'll land another layer underneath to give it more, yeah. Look at that. Rocks. I love rendering rocks. And wood. I like rendering rocks and wood in all of my pieces. They're so fun. It does give me the goody good chemicals. The good brengu. That's on the wrong setting. Alright, hold up. Here we go. Alright, see, okay, on top of this line art layer, we're gonna have to add the mist. Because the mist is important. It's important to the story, especially for the scene. Alright, I'm just gonna do it sideways, because that's just how she be. Chill, man, I'm having a panic attack. What do you mean, chill? Okay, there's this one, I don't know if it's emo, but it is kind of grunge song that I don't even remember who sings it, but it's called In the Middle. But I really like that song. I mean, and I'm not a huge, despite appearances, I'm not the biggest My Chemical Romance fan. But I like two of their songs, Teenagers and Mama. That's just about it. They come rip off your head, your aspiration to shreds, another card in the machine. Hey, Estimer. What is that? Who sings that song? It's called In the Middle, and it goes something like, something like, hey, don't write yourself off yet. It's only in your head you feel left out and looked down on. Just do your best, do everything you can. And don't worry if it's good enough for someone else. It just takes some time. Little girl, you're in the middle of the ride. Everything will be just fine. Everything will be alright. It's something like that, and I really like that song. And also, what self-conscious grunge queen doesn't like, grunge edgelord doesn't like the song Prom Queen? Who doesn't? Honestly, show of hands who doesn't like the song Prom Queen. You're missing out. Alright, now for the waterfall. Now, water, it's funny. I love rendering rocks. I love rendering wood. But water? Struggles. Alright, but we're gonna actually try this time. And yes, the noises do help. There we go. Alright. Now, I mean, it might be better if I use the watercolor brush. Random noises are very helpful, little shards of inspiration. Yep. Only in your head you feel left out and looked down on. Just try your best. Try everything you can. Don't you worry if it's good enough for someone else. It just takes some time, little girl, you're in the middle of the ride. Everything will be just fine. Everything will be alright, alright. It just takes some time, little girl, you're in the middle of the ride. Everything will be just fine. Everything will be alright, alright. You know they're all the same. Or something like that. Jimmy Eat World. Mate, that sounds about right. I don't know if I even like any of his other songs. That's just the one song I know, and I really like it. But if you want the perfect song that is absolutely the vibe I want for Rune Skeomorph as a character, more so than just my Sona, is the song Meet Me in the Woods Tonight by Lord Heron. Oh my god, that song is so good. Yeah, I know. Like, I like the song Dirty Deeds, but by AC/DC, but I absolutely hate AC/DC, and I hate the way they sing. I hate the way they sound, but the Joan Jett did a cover of the song Dirty Deeds, and it was really good. I don't know if that's dark enough. That's why I didn't put it on a multiply layer. Dirty deeds, done dirt cheap, baby. Dirty deeds, done dirt cheap. Dirty deeds, done dirt cheap. Dirty deeds and they done dirt cheap. Dirty deeds and they done dirt cheap. I just like Joan Jett. Queen of rock. No one can tell me otherwise. You know, here's the bitch of it. I spent like 3 hours. How long has the stream been going? 2 hours? 3 hours? Coloring these damn characters, and now guess who has to cover it with shading. But, thankfully, with the way they are positioned, we get to experiment with rim lighting. So it's going to be fun. Hey, yo, what the hell? Computer. And since we're on the subject of music, what do you think of Hailstorm? Do you mean Hailstorm? With, Lizzie Hale? Or Izzy Hale? Because if you mean Hailstorm, I absolutely worship Hailstorm. They are the best band ever, second to Metallica. My favorite song from them is I Like It Heavy. Oh, you mean some... Okay. I haven't heard any hailstorm. But I will check them out. Oh, they're pirate themed. Okay. All right. A giant rubber duck on stage. That sounds like a vibe. So yeah, I also really like pirate music. You know, shanties and the like. I mean, we all love the Wellerman. But I also really like, Drunken Sailor. Muppet Treasure Island has some of the best shanties ever. Even though they're not shanties, they are really good songs. If you haven't seen the Muppets Treasure Island, you are really missing out. It is one of the best adaptations of Treasure Island, but it's also just a really good movie. It's got Tim Curry in it. Come on. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys rolling down to old Maui. If you have Disney Plus, I think it's there. Now we over-render everything. Find a way to see, not to worry. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys rolling down to old Maui. Flat and fell to a northerly gale, rolling down to old Maui. I've just last week finished the non-filler parts of Bleach, and now I'm waiting for the next part. What's the fillers? Oh, the memories. Bleach, I think, was the first anime I binged. No, never mind. That was Black Lagoon. And I absolutely love Black Lagoon. That intro is just banger. When people talk about their favorite anime, they always talk about Naruto or One Piece or Dragon Ball Z, and I'm just, guys, I'm sorry. But, if I can't choose the obvious, if I can't choose the obvious Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, I have to go with, Black Lagoon. Or Madoka Magica. Madoka Magica is one of the best animes ever. And not only that, it's also one of the best magical girl animes I've seen in a while. Because, for once, we have a magical girl anime that doesn't over-sexualize underage girls. I know. Shocker. Overlord, because of the vibe of the story and I love the character. There's so much anime out there. I'll never be able to see it all. And I'm okay with that, because I'm not really a big fan of anime. I mean, okay. I like anime, but I can't... If most anime is so full of just garbage, fan service, and just grossness that I have a hard time enjoying it. I like Ghibli movies, though. Does that count? Ghibli movies don't have fan service. In fact, Miyazaki famously said, anime was a mistake. And he was right. Anime was a mistake. Alright. Excuse me. Flat on the field to a northerly gale, going down to Maui. Okay, that's better. Maybe the rendering's just a little bit too dark. Okay, that's better. What doesn't help is there's a lot of dark characters on screen. And since Scrollpaw and Hawk in the look and they're orange and you try to shade on top of them with blue, they're gonna start to look green because that's how light and color work, so they just look kind of weird. I could... Dumbass! Purple! Alright, hold on. Okay. Okay. We almost at it. Oh! Fixed. Now the lighting is still slightly off. Okay. Shoosh. So much better. There we go. Fixed. See, it helps to know color theory to at least some extent. There we go. And now for the lighting. I might try rim lighting. Because this is a big shot. And, yeah, Phoenix, I'm always amazed at the, turnaround of my pieces, too. Because, like, I see them from thumbnail to final. The turnaround is quite something else. Alright, and since I hate harsh lines and lighting, I'm... Ah! Magnifique! Smooth Donatello. Smooth. I'm going to give Feathertail slightly more prominent rim lighting. At least I think that's what I'm going to go for, because it's so funny that that the tribe thought Stormfur was the silver pelted cat when she is so clearly more silver than he is. He's only got like a little bit of silver, but she's literally described as a silver tabby. There we go. Now for the boys. Random question, have you ever thought of doing voice acting? Well, I did actually audition for a voice acting role in a creepypasta video. For a creepypasta video, and I haven't heard back yet. I think they're still going over the auditions, but you know, I have attempted voice acting before, like in a like a video capacity. So I'm just waiting to hear back from that project. There we go. So yes, I have considered voice acting. I've just never had any success in the past with voice acting, and mostly because I think I was auditioning for roles to sound like someone else. Like, my latest audition that I auditioned for Fluttershy to voice Fluttershy for a creepypasta. Because honestly, she's one of the only of the main six I could probably do. Is I could sort of maybe do Applejack, but every time I audition for Applejack, my Applejack never sounds right. And I thought, you know what, fuck it. I'll do Fluttershy just because she's my favorite and see how it turns out. And I think I did a good job, but we'll see if I get the part. If not, oh well. It'll just find something else. It was very spur of the moment. This is almost done, but the rendering on Hawk is bothered. Oh, I fixed it. Never mind. There we go. Oh, excuse me. Alrighty, I think we're coming up on just about done. please don't crash on me. Hey. Hey, Medibang. Hey. Alright, thank you. No crashing, please. Whew. Alright, we'll close that since I don't need it anymore. I knew to use purple in the last one. Why didn't I think of it to do in this one? Anyway. I'm waiting for auditions. Yeah. Alright, yeah. Keep me posted. God, I'm gonna need to hire voice actors for when I get into animation, but here's the thing. I'm nowhere near ready for animation. The only thing I can think of is if I did official comic dubs for Path to Brighter Stars. But that's a lot of fucking editing. Not just editing the video, but editing just the frames and whatnot. Because, you know, I've seen some comic dubs where they actually have the characters move slightly from frame to frame, so it's more like an automatic rather than just a comic dub. And all the sound effects and whatnot, but phew, boy. If someone else would like to do a comic dub of the Path to Brighter Stars, they can knock themselves out. But for me personally, you know, I'll sign off on the voice acting if someone else does the editing. Alright, I'm not gonna render, well, hold on. We'll do 50. Oh, I forgot about Sharptooth. Hold up. There we go. Yeah, and that's a lot of work that I just do not want to deal with because I hate editing. Don't wanna draw a thing, even when I dream of you. The sweetest dreams I'll never do. I still miss you, babe, and I don't wanna miss a thing. Okay, am I doing anything else? As soon as Medibang starts freaking out, how long have I been streaming for? Holy jeebus. I might just end it there. Because that was a lot of work done and my throat hurts. Count me in for voice acting, editing, maybe. I don't want to edit videos again. Always enjoyed editing when I did. Really? Well, you're a masochist. I just absolutely hate editing in every sense of the word. Alright, I'll check that out in a second. Anyway, I think I'm gonna end it there for this week's stream. This isn't the longest stream I've ever done, but it's the longest one I've done in a while. God dang, 3 hours? But how dare! So, we started from we started from a sketch to line art. And made our way all the way down to the coloring process. Which is an absolute pain in the ass. But a fun pain. Let's not go there. A worth it pain in the ass, because look how she turned out. I need to... Ooh. I just realized that text was slightly off. Hold on. Me? OCD? Who? Alright, I'm not gonna render it just yet because I don't know. Should I put these canon characters' names on screen? Or... Jesus. So I knocked a fence over. Or should I just leave it? Because I could squeeze in their names. Anyway, I'll figure that out later. So, anyway, I'm gonna end it for now because I need to eat lunch and my throat is dying. So, thank you all so much for watching, whether you watch live or after the fact. Either way, I love you. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe because that's how this YouTube thing works. I stream every Tuesday at around 11 to 11:30 Pacific Standard Time. And... any announcements or anything? I'm gonna try to have a stream out this Thursday. Try to have a video out this Thursday, but with the way this week has been, don't hold your breath on that one. Because, I'm having a hard time figuring out video ideas. Anyway. That's just about it. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.